Okay, y'all, another amazing recipe. This one is how to make pineapple jerk pork in your kitchen fast, easy and simple. But because I'm loving it so much, I'm going to show you how to make a mean whole wheat bread to go along with your jerk pork, right? So yeah, I eat that. Come up to show you how I make this. But guess what? If you are watching me cooking for the first time, make sure to hit your subscribe button. Be sure to also press your notification settings so you will always be aware of whenever I upload a new video. So yeah, come on and let's get started.
You don't remember where you're coming from. You don't remember where you're coming from. Rastafari. Why you turn your back on your brother when him need you? You don't remember the days and when him feed you. You know when no obligation but to owe him some respect. All you need to do is just give him one to get turn your back on your brother when him need you.
Now let's first talk about our pork that we are going to be using for this pineapple jerk pork recipe. It's so good, yes. Now I have about 6 pounds of pork right there. Don't ask which part of the pork I use because I'm not a pork person, but I cook it in my kitchen all the time. A pork as far as I'm concerned. Now I have about 6 pounds of pork right there. I washed it, soaked it with vinegar and lemon juice, and I let it sit for about 30 minutes, yes. And then after I got done with that, my pork was ready. All right, so yeah, pork that. Okay, now these are the ingredients we are gonna need for impress your neighbors and your friends. Lord, with this jerk pork recipe with a left turn of pineapple, them are ingredients you're gonna need, right? Now, of course, you're gonna need your pineapple because a pineapple jerk pork you make. Now, you're going to need pineapple juice, fresh pineapple juice for this recipe. 1 cup is there. In addition to that, you're going to need chopped onion, chopped bell pepper. I'm using red, and you're going to see why I'm going to use red. Now, you need 4 to 5 tablespoons of jerk seasoning. If you don't have jerk seasoning like that, use a powdered one. Now, if you want to make your own, I'm going to put a link down below so you could make your own jerk seasoning at home. Now, you're going to need a tablespoon of onion powder. You're also going to need garlic. Lots of garlic, guys. I'm using dried garlic for my recipe. Now, you're going to need salt and black pepper, 1 teaspoon of that. You're also going to need 2 tablespoons of all-purpose seasoning. Now, you're going to need scallion and thyme. You're also going to need pimento seeds. I'm also using ginger to that, fresh ginger. The ginger is going to balance you out so you don't have any interruption from eating that pork. Not everybody can tolerate pork, if you know what I mean, alright? So those are the ingredients you're going to need. I'm also going to be using my vinegar because Juliana never cooks without her vinegar. Of course not. Why should I? You're also going to need browning. If you want to know how to make your own browning, go down below and I'll show you how to make it. Or you can make it the way you like it, alright? But a backland browning I use because I want it fast, easy, and simple. Alright? Let's get cooking. Now, let's cook. Like, start cooking. We're gonna add our salt and black pepper to that. Then, my onion powder. My garlic. Lots of that. All-purpose seasoning. Cut that thyme up in there. Give it some extra flavor. I'm gonna like my stems too because the stems have more flavor than you think. Not just the leaf, enough the stems. Cut up my scallion. Get some ginger up in there to suckle out the people and with a bad belly like me. Put my pimento seeds up in there. And my jerk season. I use about 5 tablespoons of jerk seasoning. Of course, I have to add my apple cider vinegar because I am in love with this thing. I'm gonna add my browning, guys, and you will have to decide all the color you want to use for your meat, right? I don't want it too black. Don't put it all at once, go a little at a time. Now, I have a cup of pineapple juice, right? I'm only going to use a half a cup to get the meat marinated because I want it to have the pineapple flavor. I'm going to get my gloves on and I'm going to get this meat well seasoned up. That looks really, really good. Cover that up nice and tight and let it sit and chill. And then you move on to your next step. Okay, goodie, we're moving on to the next step. Now that my meat is nicely marinated the way I want it, right? I'm gonna go ahead and put it on my baking container. Now, at this step, you wanna make sure that your oven is turned on, guys. Your oven has to be turned on because you don't want to put this into a cold oven, right? You want to make sure that your oven is set to 400 degrees. You're going to bake this thing for about a total of 1 hour and 10 minutes. Now, after the first 30 minutes, you're going to take it out of your oven and you're going to prep it. I'm going to show you all of that. Don't worry yourself. Now, with all that good up marinade, don't waste anything, y'all. Throw that thing on top of that meat, just like that. You're going to go ahead and pop that in your good up oven. Make sure you pop this in your oven at 400 degrees. You're going to come back here at 30 minutes with this thing before we move on to the next step. See you back in at 30. Now, after 30 minutes of cooking, that is what your jerk pork is going to look like. Now what you're going to do is turn them over on the other side. So what we're going to do here, we're going to go ahead and pop them back into the oven for another 30 minutes uncovered, right? So you're basically cooking this thing uncovered the entire time. So we're going to go ahead and pop these back in the oven, and in 30 minutes I'll meet you right back here. Okay, goodies, 30 minutes later you have perfect jerk pork right here. Pineapple jerk pork, all right? Now that goodness is on the bottom of your container, you want to use that to finish up your dish. So, now all this goodness that's remaining from your bacon, you're going to need all that. That's a lot of flavor right there that's left over from your pork. So we're going to need that to finish off our sauce. Now we're moving on to our very last step. Before we finish with this meat, we're going to turn up the food before it goes up on the table. So we're going to get our butter hen, going to add your garlic and combine these two together. Just like that, don't burn it up. You're going to add your bell peppers and your onions. Then you want to add your pineapples. And your pineapple juice. Yes, honey. Now we are going to go ahead and dunk that goodness from the bottom of our bacon. Allow that to come together and thicken up really, really nice. Let it simmer nice and slow and allow it to thicken before you do anything to it. Okay, goodies, it's all done on the table and ready for eat. Yeah. Simple. We're gonna put this on the table with our jerk pork or pineapple jerk pork together as a combination, right? So yeah, let's do that. Now, let's get into making this whole wheat bread, right? especially if you're making it for the very first time, it's going to be fast, easy, and simple. Simple looking ingredients we find in your pantry, right? Yes, especially for beginners. This is what you will need. Now, you're going to need 2 cups of 100% old wheat flour. Then you're going to need a half cup of all-purpose flour or bread flour if you have that. Now, in addition to that, you're going to need a cup of milk. The milk of my choice is almond milk. Use whichever milk you want. Make sure though that your milk is nice and warm, at least 220 degrees, so that way when you put it with your yeast, the bread is going to rise. Now, you're going to need 2 teaspoons of yeast, fast acting yeast, fast. Now, you're also going to need 2 tablespoons of white sugar or granted sugar, whatever you want to call it. Now, you're also going to need 2 tablespoons of oil. Any oil of your choice is fine, but make sure you have some oil for moisten up the bread. Now, you're going to need a teaspoon of salt. In addition to that, you can veganize this bread, whatever you like. To veganize your bread, you can go applesauce. Applesauce using 3 tablespoons of unsweetened applesauce only. Now put sweetened applesauce because you already have the sugar. You can mash up the bread. Okay, now if you're not vegan, go with 1 egg. All right, everything will work out just fine. You could also use flaxseed too to make your egg substitute as well. Let's get this together. You want to go ahead and add your 2 cups of whole wheat flour, 100% whole wheat flour. Then you add a half cup of all-purpose flour or bread flour, 2 tablespoons of white or granulated sugar, teaspoon of salt, and 2 teaspoons of yeast. You want to mix this together. Now, I'm making this loaf for a friend who's a vegan, so I'm going to veganize this loaf. Now, if I was making it regular, I would add 1 egg. Sometimes when I'm making Jamaican auto bread, I just go ahead and skip all of that and move on to the next process. I'm going to put the link below to show you how to make a Jamaican auto bread. Now, I'm going to go ahead and add my unsweetened applesauce to it. And you also want to make sure that applesauce is room temperature. You're going to add your oil. And just combine this together. Now I'm going to go ahead and put my 1 cup of milk in there. And you want to make sure that your milk is nice and warm. Okay, now I'm going to go in with my hands and I'm going to get this together. Now, after your dough look pretty smooth like that, what I'm going to do here, I'm going to get my container. I'm going to add just a little bit of oil to it. And just rub the sides really good. Add a little bit more of that oil to it to moisten it up a little bit. Drop it in here. And just cover it over. Put it into a nice place in my kitchen where it's nice and warm and let it rise. So I'll see you back in a few. Look at this cake, y'all. I just took this out of the oven. You probably could see the steam coming out of it. Look at that. You see that? Steam coming out of that, you know. I just made this for my daughter. She said she wanted a upside down pineapple cake. But I did not want it to be the regular same old, same old, same old. So I gave it a twist. And look at that. If you want to see how I made this cake, comment cake down below and I definitely will do it for you guys. After it's rise up nice, that is what you want it to look like. You're going to go ahead and punch that thing down. And you're going to roll it out of the container and onto your surface. Now you want to sprinkle just a little bit more flour on top of that. And with clean hands, just press into the dough. Now you could use a rolling pin for this, but I don't want to use a rolling pin today. I'm just going to let these fingers go to work. Just slap it a little bit around a couple of times. And all I'm going to do is just fold it, just like that. And there you have your loaf. Now, I have my baking pan here, and all I'm going to do is place my loaf inside of that. Just like that. I'm going to go ahead and cover it up and make it rise again. So I'm going to give it about another 30 minutes and let it rise nicely. I'll see you back. Okay, so now that it rises up the way I want it to rise up, right? I'm going to put this in my oven. And your oven, make sure guys, your oven is turned on to 375 degrees. This is going to be baked within 30 minutes. So I'll see you back here in 30. And here's our loaf, guys. This is what your bread is going to look like after 30 minutes of baking in the oven. When it's nice and hot, you want to go ahead and apply some melted butter on top of that. And you are going to allow this to cool before you slice into it. So that is how you make a bread. Fast, easy, and simple. We're going to put this on the table with our jerk pork or pineapple jerk pork together as a combination, right? So yeah, let's do that. There you have it, guys. Another amazing recipe right there in their face, like bam. Give your girl a big fat thumbs up, like and share this recipe with friends and family. Alright, goodie? Don't forget to turn the notification settings on. And remember, as always, from my kitchen to your kitchen, enjoy! I'm going to let this cook for a good 30 minutes on medium heat. Cover it up nice and make it simmer. And when it's done simmer, it's time for we eat. So see you back in a few minutes.
So this is in with your foundation, full coverage, you know, like bam. And last but not least, the last thing I tend to go for in my makeup collection is this palette right here. Let me show you what this baby looks like. It has a whole bunch of concealers. I believe it's $10 for this palette.